what's happening. I want to make everyone aware of this. I think it's Plato, and he says something to this effect. If you want to see who your masters are, who are you not allowed to speak out against? And I've realized that there's something called a 501c3. And if you take a full 501c3, and I'll say I think there's a full and a partial 501c3 now, because a 501c3 will not say nothing that is outside of politically correct. So if someone operates in such a manner, they're false prophets, they're false teachers, it's churchianity, it's the Vatican, it's Rome. It's an operative of Rome, basically. But you have to look into something. There's a movie called The Gatekeepers, and it's about the Shin Bet. It's an Israeli secret police. And now we have the Israeli secret police training all the cops here in America, and that's why they see you as the enemy. Every one of us, they literally, until they can prove that if you're not a loyal supporter with the jacket, with the file, you know what I'm saying, you're a potential terrorist. But that's because they've been getting trained by these psychos in the Middle East who that concocted this whole 9/11 scam scheme. You can look into the dancing Israelis, the Israeli art students on 9/11, that they were waiting, and they said, we're here to document this. So therefore, Israel has prior knowledge, whether it's whole is of Israel or not. And when I say Israel, I mean the state of Israel. When I speak on Israel, sometimes I mean the 12 tribes. I mean Judah plus Ephraim. You know what I'm saying? That's who Israel truly is. You look in Genesis and in Exodus, the very first part, it tells you the 12 sons of Jacob. That's who Israel is. It's not this state over there. And it's also Israel. I mean, these tribes, you're born into them. Though you can convert to their religion, you're still born into which tribe you're born into. I mean, it's just the way it works. If you're a lost tribesman, you won't be able to tell by their traditions and how they operate now because they're a lost tribe. So therefore, they forgot who they came from, where their customs come from. And you can see that. That's part of the curse, where you will forget. All your generations will forget. Like in Moses' time, God says, hey, man, you are my people. You guys have forgot. It's been like 400 years since you even practiced any of the customs. So, I mean, this is such a time as now. But I think there's a partial 501c3 with Israel. There's some people that will not say nothing bad about Israel. You know what I'm saying? The state and some of their flawed policies, such as teaching the American police to oppress us and target their brethren, their own citizens. You know what I'm saying? And this is a psycho-radical situation. It's because it's kind of like when you try to, when you occupy people's territory and there's just bad blood there, dude, this is just what it does. It makes everyone paranoid. Everyone's out to get everyone because there's injustice. There's wrongs all over. There's a long trail of injustice and lies and deception and cover-ups, and where your governments a lot of times turn on their own people and start to target them, and then they sneak attack, and all of a sudden you're on some list as an enemy and you never even had no plot to hurt anyone, and now you're being herded into a camp. They make people get naked and they put black bags on their head and they stack like 10 guys naked on top of each other in a room. This is what these Israeli police do, and this is who is training our cops here. You can look that up, man. That's substantiated. It's a whole brave new 1984 Orwellian super state technocracy, oligarchy, monopolism. This is where we're living at now. So you can see who controls who by who they will not talk against. I see a lot of people won't talk against Israel. They won't talk too bad against the Pope. I mean, they will, but then again, they cover. They don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they will sometimes just to make it appear that they're opposition, but they can just be canapo, controlled opposition. Every one of these, the Zionists, the UN, the monarchy, the American government, these guys can afford to put their plants in every one of the conspiracy avenues, outlets. And they do in a lot of places. You see them, they'll have a gatekeeper in there that will teach you a lot. But then they'll be henpecking at, like, if you get outside of that knowledge and you start even finding greater truths, they turn on you. You know what I'm saying? All these supposed warriors of truth or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Or the great exposers of the conspiracy. Well, you got to look at the externalization of the hierarchy. Are you just an externalizer, and you're playing the Albert Pike W33 or WW3? The Jews against the Christians against the Muslims, the atheists against, and the nihilist Satanists, Luciferians, everyone fighting. And you can see they've done this expertly with the Christian Zionism, with the 501c3, and like I said, in Israel 501c3. I can't prove that now, but look, you guys are operating off of Plato's standard that's who your master is. It's not Israel of the Bible. It's the politicians that are at the moment in a usurpatory type of fashion in power. You know what I'm saying? That's what it seems. It seems as if there is that going on. And you can look at the whole gospel which you proclaim, and you see how the upper echelon elites of the time were all corrupt, and they didn't even know the stuff. The stuff they were making money from. All these priests are making money from this service. They're not even doing the real service. They're just making money off of this system that was set up, and they're misusing it, usurping. And it was a sham and a fraud. And we see these things all the time now. De facto governments, where they come in another government's name, but it's identity theft. You know what I'm saying? It's the corporation has came out, bought the name of these old noble institutions, but now corporately they've been bought out, gutted, and it's a skeleton company. Or it's not skeleton, it's like a skin. It's like a sausage skin. The inside of the company, the skeleton has been changed, and it's globalist, corporatist, New World Order, UN, Luciferian, fascist. And look, the Masons, the Vatican, the Jesuits, the Zionists, your Kabbalist, Jewish mysticism guys are all one and the same. That's your Satanists. It's coming straight out of Israel. It's coming straight out of the Vatican and the monarchies. It's coming straight out of the American corporate caste government. You know what I'm saying? The law of the sea government, the maritime government, the shadow government, as a lot of people calls them. And they influence a lot of people, even people who think that they're doing right. They think they're free. They're exercising their free thought. They're doing what is right for their allies. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think some people are allowed, they'll look the other way. You can talk bad about America, you can talk bad about anyone, but just don't say nothing about Israel, or you'll get your pass revoked. You know what I'm saying? I talk bad about everyone that has an evil agenda. I'll talk about them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to distinguish between who is who, and I'm aware that some people are in a deception. So instead of blaming you, I'm going to go through the shadows now first and call out your masters. According to the Greek philosopher and how he says you can tell who controls you. By who are you not allowed to protest against? You know what I'm saying? It's like, give credit unto whom credit is due. If someone is due the credit of the evils of their crimes, and you cover for them, you help cover the crimes of the evil of the wicked. You know what I'm saying? You're used as a pawn. You know what I'm saying? Against your brethren who are seeking the truth. And they're even trying. Sometimes you're in the way. We don't want to harm you to get to those masters in the shadows. We want to get those evil, wicked, magician manipulators. We want to call them out. We want to shed light. It's like standing in the light with the mirror. There's this dark cave. Until someone stands there with the mirror in the sun and it shoots in the cave, it's dark in there. But once you shoot that light, any beast or whatever that's in there that's hiding and lurking, waiting to pounce, it can't get the sneak attack, surprise attack once you show that it is there. You know what I'm saying? And there's delicate ways to do this. It's like surgery. You want to get to the cancer, not the organ. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to cut out the organs to get to the cancer, because then you'll kill the whole vessel. You know what I'm saying? So these are delicate matters, because a lot of this time, this stuff is wound around your heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tapeworm around your heart that is sucking all your good intentions and pushing it back right to the devil. You're feeding the devil. You know what I'm saying? Through think you're doing right. And we've all done that. I guarantee if you think you haven't, that's how deceived you are. Because it's so easy to get tricked into doing the devil's work if you're honest with yourself. And how many times does someone offend you in a daytime without cause? That's how easy it is to do the devil's work when you, in revenge, rail back against people that are accusing you. You have become what is offensive to you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it works. They got to tempt you into taking some bait that you overextend yourself in the wrong spot. And it's a diversion tactic. It's point to the mountain, strike the grindstone. So just be aware of it's not that we operate and point to the mountain, strike the grindstone as a form of deception. It's you understand of it so you can expose it when it's being manipulated against you with. You know what I'm saying? If no one ever got to peer through the dark veil and see the tricks that are going on, what's going on behind the stage performance, and you can see how they use optical illusions to hide certain things and then dangle certain things out there that are moving and bright and the dazzling, and but that draws your attention off where they're sneaking around in black clothing on the stage. You know what I'm saying? For instance, it's you need the people who understand that to go back and teach everyone how not to be deceived through misdirection, man, and sleight of hand and magicianry. There's deeper levels. There's physical levels where it's just parlor tricks. There's deeper levels where it's a conspiracy of leaked disinformation, misinformation. It's like you cut through this level of bricks. There's 3 bricks on this level. The lower level, there's 5 that incrementally support these 3. You know what I'm saying? So you got to deal with a lot of incrementally ignorant people of the other bricks or how the whole situation works. See, if you were just right up next to the old pyramid, all you would see is a crack in the mortar in between the brick. But if you stand back far enough, you'll see the whole pyramid, and you'll see the incrementally how these things hoist each other up. And you can almost see, like, look, right there. There's one spot. If we can get a crack in here, we can pierce that shield that they got. You know what I'm saying? That's all we need. Is a lot of this stuff is it just takes a few people to fire up and punch a hole into the thick darkness. And then all these people with almost enough to get in, it's just the people got to go before them and blaze the path. And now with what these people have, like cling to that which ye have already, that will activate once people will go through and clear the way for the people that are just, it's like, listen, this is the valley of decision. You know what I'm saying? That we're all in right now. And, it's merciful enough. We get to be in the valley of decision instead of the valley and the seat of judgment. You know what I'm saying? We still have time to fight and plead and compel and change and try to do that which is good. You know what I'm saying? And that just goes to show, like, people try to say, no, we're already dead. We're in hell already. But it's like, no, we can't be because we still have free will at the moment. You know what I'm saying? And we still have a choice to make. You know what I'm saying? It's not sealed yet. It's still, you know what I'm saying, in flux. But you got to recognize and become aware of the things maybe that you're hung up on, man. There's just like I said, it's the blind side. We all got to check our blind sides right now. That's even with the eye, but that's deeper. It's spiritual sight, spiritual understanding, the eye of your spiritual understanding. That you need to check the blind side, man, or either that, go ahead and get in a group and everyone stand, man, back to back in a circle. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in a way, but that's why there's strength in numbers, man. Because you can cover each other. You know what I'm saying? You can stand in the gap for someone who will not, for some reason. It's like they're so set on their goal that they will not break their neck and turn around and look behind them to see the enemy creeping up to steal from them. So I guess that is on us to, like, intervene and intercede for them and stand in the way, like, no. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and that's all done on a spiritual prayer. And even just debate. I mean, but if they don't want to hear the debate, then you got to pray in secret. You know what I'm saying? For whatever, that's one way you can intervene from afar without, you know what I'm saying? And at the end, you'll be clean for, doing so,